Hello, everyone, and welcome to the second episode of Quotables, the brand new smash hit podcast with my co-star Ernie. How you doing?
Hello, I'm doing well.
And I, of course, I'm Lex. If you haven't tuned in our first episode, we are diving into some movies that we love and talking about them, just going through the whole movie and just talking about ridiculous scenes and quotes that we just thought are hilarious and we always kind of apply to our lives. But just to get things started, how you doing, Ernie?
I'm doing well, dude. I always say, I said this in the last one, but I'm really excited to do this one. Freaking Attack of the Clone, or as I like to call it, Attack of Anakin's Boner.
Shit. No, you're right. I couldn't agree more with that. But yes, we are doing Attack of the Clones, Star Wars episode Dos. One of the most, not the, well, I guess I want to say like most hated of the trilogies, but like it was the lesser of the trilogies.
That is very true.
Because I actually thought the first one was a little more fun, like Phantom Menace, than this one.
Yeah, definitely.
But I wanted to talk about, did you watch this in the theaters?
I did. Yes, I did.
I just remember like when it first started up, just everyone just going nuts. Like, and it's just like, ding! You know how it goes.
Yeah, like the intro. Yeah.
And I miss those days.
I do too.
But
it was, and this is a midnight release. This is where there was no, like, you couldn't buy a ticket in advance.
Oh, yeah.
You'd have to show up and wait in line to get the ticket.
Yeah, no reserve seats.
There was no reserve seating.
No recliners. Someone's feet just behind you. Just that was right your ass.
Everyone's breathing, and I was like,
but yeah, let's get into this.
Let's dive in.
Let's dive in. So again, we get our famous title cards with our little paragraph, which again is something it's just.
I skipped it this time again.
Just an explanation. Actually, this explanation was a little better than the first one. I think it was a little more, I guess not dumbed down, but it wasn't as like fucking political.
Yeah,
but still, it talks about the mysterious Count Dooku and I mean Dooku. I'm sorry,
Dookie.
So anyway, let's start it. So now we start on. I forgot what planet is it? Is this Coruscant? No, it's not Coruscant.
Not Coruscant. I believe it is.
It's like Cloud City. It looks like
it looks like
Cloud
City.
I don't know
what
like
the
that.
hell it is. Honestly.
But anyway, they land and then all of a sudden, Captain Typhoo.
I'm so glad you brought that.
Typhoo.
Typhoo. Freaking Captain Gregor, dude.
He says, "Guess I was wrong. There was no danger at all." And then all of a sudden, boom! Just a big ass explosion. Just all this shit just goes crazy.
It's crazy because the hand. What is she like? The hand lady or?
Well, it's weird because Amidala she's in just like regular like she looks like the Captain Typhoo.
Yeah, because she's trying to go there without getting noticed.
Blend in.
What's
and
the
then I guess
lady?
the other lady's the decoy, right?
Her first hand, her decoy.
Her handmaiden, I guess.
But like, it's funny because I wanted to tell you, so I'm glad you, because like he says that, right? And they blow up, and then they all run to the ship to go check on how she's doing, and then the girl is like she's like, oh my god, I forget her name, her name
Corday, I think.
Oh yeah, Corday, thank you, her Corday, and like it's funny how the way they set her up because like half her hair is like. It's like all blown up, but the other half's all curly, all nice.
She looks like the Queen of Hearts in the Tim Burton House. And then her shoes are just off. She's just like barefoot. She's like, and then they just leave them. I was like, all right, let's get out of here.
She's like, she did her jobs, we did yours, or something.
Yeah. So then they walk in, they start talking to Palpatine, and they're asking about who you think assaulted them and everything, and I forget how it comes up. Then we get a little more Mace Windu this episode, which he was bad. There's a scene we'll talk about later.
I know, definitely.
But he says, "We're keepers of the peace. We're not soldiers."
And he's a motherfucker.
Motherfucker.
You know, it's crazy. Is like watching that Mace Windu because in this one, obviously, he's a more of a prominent character. But like, you see how doubtful he is about everything. Like, you see when he talks to Chancellor Palpatine, you know, like you can tell he's like, I don't trust.
He's uneasy.
You can see.
Same with Yoda too. When he's like looking at it, like when something Palpatine says, like he kind of just looks at him, just like
he does like a little, yeah.
Oh shit. And then they talk about assigning Obi-Wan, right, and Anakin to be her aide. So now it shows us to Anakin and Obi-Wan in the elevator, and of course it's just like it's funny because I wrote down that like you mentioned in the first one, like the dual fates, how Qui-Gon is more father figure and Obi-Wan is more brotherly, and they have that kind of brotherly like back and forth.
You can see it, yeah.
He said, what did he say? He goes, remember that time you fell into that nest of gun ducks? And then he goes, you fell into that nightmare and I rescued you, remember? And then Obi was, oh yes. He's like,
it's so weird.
It's kind of awkward. Like, it's just like, they're super awkward. But like, the actor Anakin, I think his name is Hayden Christensen. He's like super weird.
Yeah.
But then they mentioned the time jump. It's 10 years later.
Yeah.
So I'm assuming Anakin is early 20s, I want to say. Because, I mean, who knows? And And like I think I said the first one, Anakin looks older than Padme. Like
Already,
Padme has not aged a bit. And
Yeah.
this guy's a fucking full grown man.
You know, I wanted to go back to this because you know, when they're trying to figure out, like I wanted to go into this. He goes, you know, they're talking Mace Windu and all them, or who's behind the attack, and then Padme asks, "Maybe who's behind the attack?" And then someone's like, "Maybe it's the Spice Miners or Count Dooku or whatever." And then the big head guy, what's his name? Freaking Kai Andi Munde. Yeah, he goes, "He's a political idealist, not a murderer." I've always loved that. He's fucking big ass head.
He's got some big ass head.
Yeah, you know it's crazy. Funny. Random ass fact. I think it might be him, if I'm not mistaken. I believe that guy is one of the only Jedis. If not, it's my probably Kit Fistu. But I think he's one of the only Jedis that is able to have sex because his species is dying and he needs to repopulate it.
What the fuck?
So he has like wives. I forgot where the hell I saw that, but I think it's him. Yeah, so he's banging.
He must be get some good head.
Yeah.
And then somehow, I love how they make Jar Jar like a representative of the Senate. He just comes out. Like what? You know, he goes, Erbil,
and he goes, Annie, looky.
He's a looky. Misa no dundo or some shit like that. And he goes, and then that's when Padme says, Annie, you've grown. He goes, so have you. More beautiful, I mean.
He's got a boner.
Just immediately just super horn dog.
You know what's crazy is like when they're, because going back into it too, like, you know, when they're going up the elevator and we're talking about that, like you can see that he's like uneasy, like Anakin, because he's like wants her. Nervous, He's like, he's not a wants her, but he's excited to see her. And then like, I feel like at that point, like Obi-Wan knows what he's feeling.
Oh yeah,
because like Obi-Wan, I think he's one of the only other Jedis that in history that has had a love interest in like the universe. But like, I don't know if you know who she is. Her name was like, she was like a duchess called Satine Kryze or something like that. And then Darth Maul kills her.
Oh shit!
In front of him, and it's fucking crazy. Yeah. So like he knows what love is. He knows like that kind of. So it's kind of, that's why I was like,
because it's like against the Jedi code.
Exactly. Yeah. And it's
sucks.
Like, yeah. So it's kind of crazy, but yeah, I was like, he fucking knew obviously already.
Because he even says it later. I think he says like, "Don't let your personal feelings get in the way."
Exactly. Yeah.
So immediately they're talking about. Padme starts talking about who, you know, trying to find their killers, and Obi says, "No, we're here not to protect. We're here to protect you, not to investigate." And then Anakin goes, "We will find out who was trying to kill you." But like, Anakin's already like going against, like, you know,
against him. Yeah.
He doesn't agree with obviously with what the Jedi really has to believe. We'll get a little more into that later. But like you can already see, like he's already kind of just like, no, I want to do my own thing. Like I'm my own. He's a political idealist.
You know, he said that's what he says. Protection is a job for a local security, not Jedi.
His line delivery is so bad.
It's so, you know, it's so weird.
But I really love the part where he goes up to Jar Jar. He starts pouring his emotion. He's like, Jar Jar, it's not like she even noticed me. And then Jar Jar's just like sitting there like, oh no, I mean, don't see her like that in a long time.
And then like, Obi-Wan, and then Obi-Wan comes out of nowhere and he goes, "She was pleased to see us."
She was pleased to see us. Oh shit! But
this is like only like 10 minutes in.
Yeah, I know. They're both just dicks to each other, but it's kind of I like their little banter, and I kind of like talk about that a little more. And then Sardi, and they're already talking about, and I think, and you mentioned this last time, or I think we've talked about it. I don't know if you talked how Palpatine is more in this one, or like trying to mess with Anakin's mind.
Yeah, definitely.
And you can already see like when he's talking to Obi-Wan, Anakin's like, he's a good man. He's a good man.
Yeah.
And like they're just like kind of fighting like that. Like he agrees like with what Palpatine's like more trying to do, I guess.
Yeah, because later on, I think he says like he's talking to Padme. We'll get to that part, but like they're together, and then he says like he's like you don't trust any senators, and he's like one or two, and he's talking about like him and her and him.
It's weird. So then they're watching over Padme, and she's asleep, and then all of a sudden the little bugs get summoned on her.
Yeah, little freaking slugworms.
Then it's funny because they're just sitting there. Anakin and then Obi-Wan are like going back and forth, and all of a sudden Obi-Wan just goes, "I sense it too," and they fucking spring into action.
Yeah, they're like talking shit to each other. Like,
goes, "I sense it too," and then they fucking just jump in, and that's when Obi-Wan just badass just jumps out the fucking window and like grabs onto that thing. That's a cool little scene. Like it's pretty badass. Like the whole scene. And I don't know if you noticed, like when he's flying, I don't know if it's Sebulba or just a species in that one of those speeders.
Yeah.
Do you remember that scene when they pass by?
I do, yeah.
He's like,
he says something.
or something
You know,
like
it's crazy. Yeah, and then he also comes out, or there's another species like Sebulba, and he comes out during when he's at the place with Dex.
Uh-huh.
Do you recall that?
Oh yeah, fucking Dex. Yeah.
Yeah, and then like he's like having like coffee with him or whatever, Jawa juice.
I forgot about that.
And then freaking he ends up having like there's like a little creature that they added later on. Because they didn't have him before in the movie.
Oh shit!
But they ended up adding it as a scene. Yeah,
he's a Doug.
Yeah, he's a Doug.
And then the next thing we have Anakin flying into the ship to save Obi-Wan.
Yeah.
And then again they did a little banter. He's like, "What took you so long?" And he's like, "Oh, you know, I couldn't find a speeder I liked."
And I wrote that down too. You know the
not fast enough. I know. I was like,
there's this part where
I hate that guy.
Did he freaking? There's this part where he like before all that shit happens. There's this one part where he goes, Padme being around her is intoxicating. I can't say
is that then or is that
no? It's him. No,
later, right?
He says it before all that.
Does he?
Yeah, he's talking. He's
it's
talking.
Intoxicating.
Yeah, it's intoxicating.
And I also take a shot every time Obi-Wan mentions Anakin is young and his apprentice, because I literally always says my young apprentice.
Yeah,
you are my young Padawan or my young.
Yeah.
You know, he just keeps saying.
Yeah, he says it. Yeah,
and same thing. I even put after they're done chasing and they go to that club. There's literally right before they enter the club. I think Anakin says master at least 5 times within 30 seconds. Yes, master. I will, master. Yes, of course, master. I'm like, what the fuck?
Dude, you skipped like, dude, one of the freaking sweet, you know, when they're like flying or whatever, and then that stupid song. I don't know if you remember. It goes,
and then the other lady's ship goes,
yeah. These fucking sounds, dude.
It's a shortcut, I think. And then so what's a changeling? Because that's the thing they're chasing. It's like that little thing.
I think it's like a shapeshifter is what
that's
it is. Because it looks like
they never really dive more into like.
No.
They make it sound like it's because he's just it's a changeling. He's like, we have to be extra careful. Then it's like it just seems like a regular like bounty hunter or something like trying to kill, like less dangerous than like Boba or Jabba or Jango.
Yeah. And just because like you can see he sees that she can switch when she's like in the plane.
Oh yeah, I remember.
And
she
switches back from whatever that ugly little thing to like a woman.
Yeah, it's strange.
Looking, yeah.
I don't really get it.
Yeah, I don't get it.
So then they're walking through the club trying to find the best person to dance with. I'm kidding. They're trying to find the little. I don't even know what that lady's name was. I forgot. Well, the changeling anyway. And it's funny because you actually see the actor, actor Jar Jar, like the actual actor.
He's there.
He's one of the extras.
Oh, that's cool.
In the club, yeah, he's one of the extras. And then Obi-Wan at the bar, and then he's talking to that guy. I feel like you want to talk about it.
You want to buy some death sticks?
Like, you don't want to sell me death sticks.
He's like, I don't want to sell you death sticks.
You want to go home and rethink your life.
I want to go home and like the way he flips it back.
Yeah. That's so stupid,
dude. Freaking the part, the freaking because I wrote down that scene you were talking about when he gets the speeder.
Oh yeah,
like that whole scene. Like he's like, what took you so long? He's like, master, I couldn't find the speeder, whatever, all that stuff, right? Yeah. And he's all, and then later on he goes, I don't mind you flying. He's like, but what you're doing is suicide.
It's suicide.
The fucking movie, dude. I'm sorry, I just wanted to go back. I really love that.
And he goes, excuse me a moment. He's like, I hate when he does that. He fucking do it all
There's
the
like the way they play this movie. You know, like how the first one when we're talking about the Asian dudes, the viceroys or whatever. Mm-hmm. Like that was super overly acted. This is like it's not overly acted, but it's like I don't know how to explain it. It's like they're overly
not act or underacted.
Yeah, dude. It's like no emotion.
Really trying to sell it.
Yeah,
it's funny. I mean, how can Ian McGregor play off fucking Aiden though? Like he's so dull. He's such a dull ass character.
Yeah.
Like, but I would like to see like them growing together. Like that'd be cool. Like little, side series.
Little sides, yeah.
Because I can imagine. So then they get to the bar and he chops off the hand of the changeling.
Yeah.
I feel like that was a reference to like New Hope kind of.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking too. Because they're in like in a bar and all that stuff, right?
That's cool. And then
they went back.
They're trying to ask questions to him, and then Jango, is that you, motherfucker?
Jango.
Stupid. Shit, I lost track of the fucking Jango thing. Anyway, so yeah, we see Jango for a second, and then they're trying to figure out like blah blah blah, and then obviously they don't know what's going on. So I think that's when Obi-Wan they kind of like separate. Like he has to go. He's gonna watch Padme
Yeah.
And then Obi-Wan is gonna find out the mission or whatever whatever he shot into that changelings.
Oh, the freaking! I wrote it down. It's called Camino Saber Darts, which is Dex ends up telling him.
So okay, and fucking Dex.
You remember that part?
You want a cup of Jawa juice?
He's like, shit, Jawa juice or whatever. Remember when also I totally forgot to tell you this, but after like before the death stick part, he says, "Why do I think that you're gonna be the death of me?" You remember when he says that? Yeah. And I was like, "Oh fuck, dude, that's crazy. He is gonna kill him."
Seriously.
Spoiler alert, I guess.
Know, he spoiled it. So then again, we have there's a scene where Anakin and Palpatine are talking, and you can see you notice him molding him.
Yeah,
into,
definitely.
He's like, you're gonna be one of the most powerful Jedi yet. Like he's like, I know it. Shit. He said, trust his feelings and he'll be invincible. He tells him.
Yeah, yeah.
Like, damn. And then so that's when he's dispatched to go take care of Padme, and then Padme tells Jar Jar to take her place. In her absence,
he's a representative Binks or whatever. He goes, "Miss, honored to be taken on this heavy burden." He's a with muy humility. I wrote that down.
I love that. That's good. That's good.
Yeah.
Stupid ass Jar Jar.
And then that's when he tells him I think they're talking, or Anakin's talking to Padme while she's packing up.
Oh yeah.
And then he sounds like he sounds like a little boy when he's frustrated with all the things that are going on. You know what I mean?
With Obi-Wan.
With Obi-Wan, and he's like, he doesn't trust me. And,
it's not fair.
Yeah, it's not fair. Yeah.
And then Padme just
she's just staring at him. Out. She's like, sometimes they can do. She's trying to calm him down or whatever.
It's not fair. Sometimes I think I know what's best.
Yeah.
Okay, so then Obi-Wan goes to that Dex's guy. You want a cup of Jawa juice? Is that his wife? That robot? That fucking Dex?
I don't know what the hell that is, dude.
I was like, damn, that's hot.
That part. Well, hold on, sorry. Before we move on, that same part where she's trying to calm him down.
Yeah.
I wanted to say this because he's staring at her and he's all, "Don't stare at me like that." And he's all, "Why?" Because he's all, "It makes me feel uncomfortable," and he's got that horny look in his eyes.
This weird. He does a lot of those looks,
right? And you can tell, but at some point, I guess in the movie, obviously she likes it, but in when the character, it doesn't look like it.
Oh, not at all.
You know what I mean? It's so weird. She's
down for it. Well, that's why I'll talk about it later. Her transition is just weird.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
But then I was going to talk about that they started talking about how Jedis can't love, but then Anakin's trying to bend the rules, and he goes,
"Yeah."
You're exactly the way I remember you in my dreams. He's like, oh. His fucking wet dreams on.
And then he goes to meet Dex right after that.
No, that was before. I have it after. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
He's already talking to Dex.
He goes, "Hello, Dex."
Hello, old friend. Who the fuck is this Dex guy? Just comes out of nowhere. Just a random ass character. I remember it was kind of he was being promoted to I remember when the movie was first.
Really, I don't recall that. It's crazy.
Pretty sure. I probably had a toy of him.
What did it say? I'm a person.
I'm a person. And then Obi-Wan's trying to find Camino and he can't find it. And what she says, she's like, "We don't have records of this." He's trying to look for it, and obviously can't find it. So he goes to Master Yoda, who's teaching all the younglings.
Oh yeah, I love
and
this.
And then he goes, "Lost a planet, Master. Everyone has. How embarrassing!
How embarrassing!"
Yoda's a little shit, dude. That's the Yoda I love.
Yeah, dude.
A little shithead.
Yeah.
I wish he was the little
puppet.
The little puppet version.
Yeah, I know.
Master Kenobi.
Yeah, friggin'. It's because they erased it from the planet.
Just a super easy explanation. And why are they lost in the archives? It's because somebody erased it.
Yeah. He's like, the mind of a young boy.
The mind.
It sounds like a pedophile.
Mind of the young. Herbie.
Oh my god!
All right, so then Obi-Wan goes to Camino with these Slender Man looking asses, just weird little fucking aliens. But they're super nice and forgiving, and they've been working on a droid army for Master Syphilis. or what is it? Syphodiphus? Syphidilius? Syphodiasiac?
The freaking metachlorians, no, that's what they are, right? Or what are they?
Syphidilius, or what is it?
No, the guys, they're called something.
Oh, the midichlorians?
They're called midichlorians, some shit like that. Yeah, I don't recall really.
But he's talking about who died 10 years from, and we didn't really get much on that guy.
No,
whoever he was.
Yeah, I always wondered who Sifo Dyas was, but I guess it was a Jedi who died.
Mm.
But it was he was a Sith. and that
the quest of this droid army.
Mm-hmm.
So then we get taken to the scene where we show Anakin and Padme again.
Yeah.
And they're placed on this beautiful like romantic getaway. I'm like in a way it's like I feel like this is her intention, kind of like it's like even though she just like refuses him, but like
yeah,
it's weird because like you'd think they go like it's just a super like secluded like romantic.
Yeah. Do you think like Chancellor Palpatine had kind of like a thing about this, right?
Does he?
Well, it kind of seems like he has like this grand scheme. Like you can kind of tell that like he's setting her up to die, and like he knows that. I think prior to this we don't know, but I think him and Anakin still talk. And like that's why he likes him, right? Because he tells him what he wants to hear.
I see,
and he's like manipulating him, but we don't see this. It's just kind of about why I've assumed.
Background,
yeah. And then like we'll talk about that in the third episode of the podcast when we do the next one. But you can kind of see that he's like kind of like messing with his head, and then like trying to kill Padme brings them closer and stuff, and they know he's gonna succeed. It's just weird. Yeah. And you could see that
because they even talk about she's like, oh, having a love will destroy our lives.
Yeah,
and which it does. And then we get one of my most favorite quotes in the Star Wars series. They're talking about being on the planet, and then Anakin, I don't like sand. It's coarse, rough, and irritating. It gets everywhere. And he goes, not like here. Here, everything is soft and smooth. And he's like staring. He's staring at Padme's boobs the whole time. Like they're just saying that. I'm like, this is. And he's like clenching his lips a little bit. He's like, I'm like, oh my god.
He's like, he's like checking her up and down. Like it's weird. Yeah.
And then he starts like kind of rubbing her back a little bit. And then he gives her like this weird little smile and like creepy. But then she's like going for the kiss, and then she backs away. She's like, no, we can't be doing this. Blah blah blah. But it's just like that love story is just super.
It's super awkward.
It's horrible.
Yeah. And that's when he like this is prior to this is when he's feeding her the fruit with.
No, that's a little later.
That's a little later. Okay.
We'll get there.
Yeah, that's a good one.
So then we go back to Camino, and that's where Obi-Wan teaches Jango.
What you mean teaches Jango?
I mean, I'm sorry, teaches Boba. Wait, Jango has a little Boba.
I was like, yeah, the Boba's like a little clone.
And here we go with another child actor that's just cringy. Like, why can't Star Wars get these child actors right?
I feel like they're going based on like look and shit or something like that, but it's like they never get it.
Maybe, yeah. And then he's like, pack your things, we're leaving. He's just super sketchy. But then obviously Obi-Wan kind of suspects him. And that's when Obi-Wan tries to reach Anakin, like with his message.
Yeah, right?
Yeah. But then he ends up.
He's all, bring him in. Bring him in. He's all, the Jedi Council would never. Mace Windu says.
Yeah, it's funny because they're literally just sitting there already, just waiting. Like they're sitting there, like it just turns on. Like, oh, here they are.
It's kind of weird. They all just sit in that fucking room for a while and just meditate.
Yeah,
that's what they do.
Just fucking folded legs. They're
like, dude, how do their legs not fall asleep and shit?
More children Jedi.
Have you seen Dave Chappelle, the episode of the Jedi? Remember the gay Jedis? The Qui-Gon Jinn's like, if he didn't want it, he shouldn't have been wearing that. And then Yoda's like, ha ha.
Stupid.
Go ahead, sorry.
Oh shit. Okay, and then we get back to our love scene. And this is what's funny because like Anakin, they're talking about the politics. And Anakin's describing what he wants politics to be. And he's literally saying what politics are. He's like, he's like, I just want everyone to go in a room and try to agree with each other. It's like, and then Patty's like, but Annie, like that's what it is.
That's what it is, yeah.
he's and then she goes, someone should make them or something like that.
Yeah.
So he already sounds like a dictator.
Yeah, and then he's like, that's what a dictator. That more sounds like a dictatorship.
Yeah, and he's like, that's what it should be. And then he's all speaking to the dick. And then they're just so cringy. And then he rides that fucking weird creature thing.
Oh, that he rides, and then he falls.
And the CGI just looks fucking horrible.
It looks so weird,
but it's so funny. And then he rolls over, and then he's obviously they roll together, it's super dumb.
Does he kiss her then? I forget.
No, I don't think he kisses her there because she's still like kind of weird about it. And then we get that fruit scene. He's like, Obi-Wan would be so mad at me right now. He's like, I tried to feed him fruit once. He didn't like it.
He says, what does he say? He goes, if Master Obi-Wan called me doing this, he would be very grumpy.
He's like, I tried to feed him some fruit the other day, but he wouldn't take it. I said, Master, you need your vitamins. And then they're like in this darkly lit room with like a fireplace, and I was like, it looks like
they're going
to the planet of Pound Town.
P-Town, dude. It's like they set it up so well where they're gonna fuck.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? And it's like, who's doing this?
And then she's like wearing this like super revealing outfit, and it's like
thong on.
Like, what the fuck? I'm like, this is just weird, and obviously she doesn't want it. And he goes, I wrote this down too because earlier he goes, I'm haunted by the kiss you should not have given me. My heart is beating, hoping that kiss won't become a scar. This writing in this love story is just so bad.
It's like no one knew what love is.
I don't know. Like it's just weird. Like I mean, I probably couldn't write a good enough love scene better than that. I mean,
honestly, dude.
I mean, it's on the delivery. I mean, all in the end, but like,
you think? Yeah, I was gonna say, do you think that like they wrote it a certain way, or like the way they delivered it was the wrong way? You know what I mean?
I mean, but even then, like that's just like weird choices of words.
Yeah,
like,
bro.
But say that.
I've always felt
that the kiss won't become a scar.
I always felt like the direction is where it went wrong. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like these actors can act. You know what I mean? Like. Like you've seen what's her face Natalie Portman like
Ian McGregor
Ian McGregor.
It has all these top notch actors except for Hayden Christensen, but it has all
even Christensen's like you can Hayden Christensen, you can see him in other movies and like he has like the chops to do it.
Yeah,
but like I guess the direction is make it look like you're uncomfortable. You know what I mean? And it's like why do you tell them to do that shit?
That's true.
That's what I've always like assumed because like I don't know, but I feel like. Even like George Lucas watching his interviews and stuff, like I don't know if he doesn't want to say this because he doesn't want to back down from it. Like he screwed up the directing.
Oh yeah.
But he always says like, no, this was perfect as how I wanted it. Like I wanted him to be like that. So that's why I've always assumed like maybe that's how he was directed that way.
Well, you know what he says? He says because they said, oh, how come you screwed up the series? He goes, I'm a person.
I'm a person. And my name's George.
My name's George. Okay. Anyway. Then we're back on Camino, and then we get the first Jango fight, which is pretty dope. Like really, that's pretty cool to watch. Like I like his suit. Like obviously, it's literally just Boba Fett, but
it's Boba Fett,
blue. But it's super cool. And I always thought the slave ship was like a super cool like design.
Yeah,
right?
Slave One.
But it's like I feel like it's not. It's like a kind of awkward too at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's just like when they're landed, like he has to like get up and like look over the seat to fire at him, and then like it's just very strange.
Yeah.
And then even when they're in the astrofield, like, you know, he tries to go through the astrofield. It's how does that fucking ship maneuver through all those asteroids? Like, Obi-Wan's struggling as it is with this little ship, and this guy's just like,
yeah. I guess because he's like such a good pilot or something. That's what I always assume. The way they make him seem, or the way they tell you he is, because they chose him because he's that good. And it's like that's what they're showing you, but it's like you don't know anything about. He
kind of sounds like Jason Statham a little bit too. He's like, the Jango guy. He's like, I don't get, Beba, you need to get to the rope ship. No, but even the best too is like they're in the ship, and then the little Bubba goes, fire.
I forgot about that.
And the sun is lit. He goes, you know, he does this weird little.
It's so the way that kid. He's just so.
Just they make
kid.
these.
He's just like the first Anakin in the first one. Like
it's just fucking funny. There's this you know, Patton Oswalt is.
Yes, of course.
He does a stand up talking about Star Wars, and then like he's talking. If I met George Lucas and talked to him in the past, he's like, oh, I don't want to say too much, but he goes like, oh, you're gonna see the second one. You're gonna see Boba Fett. He's Boba Fett, hell yeah. And he goes, yeah, but he's a little kid. It's so stupid. And he's like, I don't want to see that. But anyway, I'll have to show you that after because it's fucking funny. What were you gonna say? Were you gonna add something? Sorry.
No. I was just gonna say about the kid, like how he was all cringy or whatever.
Yeah. So then. Oh, and then
it skips to the scene where they go back to Tatooine.
Well, because Anakin has that dream.
Yeah,
he has a very bad. And she's like, I heard you last night, and he's like, and he goes, and it's funny because he's like, I have to go back. She's like, I'll go with you. He's like, I'm sorry, I have no choice. And like, she's like, I'm like,
what did you say? No,
you could just said, you couldn't have said anything. Actually, you should have just been like, let's go, or like a nod, you know?
Yeah.
Do it, okay, but. So then he goes back to Tatooine, and then he goes back.
He apologized.
I know. He just, I'm sorry, I have no choice. And then we get Watto. I'll let you take this.
Oh, this is he's a chut Watto. And then he goes, Annie, little Annie, and he goes, nah. And then he goes,
and he fixes the part.
And he goes, you are Annie. You are Annie. It is you.
He's like, I'm like, oh, and he kind of Watto's like that character. He's like that's like a Muppet, because you know how like they have the Muppets like in the older ones, or like he's like fucking.
He just
he'd fit in the Muppet. He looks like Gonzo a little bit.
Yeah, dude. It would honestly. What if like they would have made Watto a freaking puppet, and like just like Yoda did?
They should have.
Instead of CGI, it would have been probably sweeter.
He's like, where was his cane? He got older.
I know. And then he drops the thing on his foot and he goes.
And then so he's asking about his mom, and he goes, "I saw to some guy Lars, I think."
He's a moist.
He made her moist. He made her though, I think. He's all happy. He's like,
yeah, he made her, right?
He's like, L'chaim.
You hear the glass break.
Yeah,
dude.
I wish I got a little more Watto.
Honestly, yeah, we just get him for like that.
He needs a spinoff.
Less than 2 minutes.
He needs a spinoff for sure.
Yeah, he does, dude. It's great.
And then finally they go to Baru, Owen and Baru, and I think and Lars, right? That's his name. And
yeah,
what's the mom's
and Baru.
Her name's Shmi. Shmi.
Hook.
Yeah, he goes, Shmi. And then 3PO's like, oh, the makeup. He's got a good ass memory, but obviously he's a robot.
Isn't that crazy?
Sure.
Yeah, but it's crazy that like so I remember that because now every time he says thank the maker, he's thinking Anakin, dude.
Oh, that's right.
You know what I mean?
Thank the maker that
Thank
I'm alive.
maker.
That I'm alive, basically. Like I'm alive because of the maker.
He made me,
and he says that a lot.
Damn,
what a trip.
That is a trip.
And then then you see Owen Baru, and then they go to Mr. Lars, and he tells him what happened to his mom, about the Tusken Raiders took him, and there's about 30 of us, and I couldn't get it because my leg. And then he like takes off to do it. Oh, he's gonna leave, but I don't know if you noticed when he's outside,
they do the
ready to leave. You see kind of Vader in the shadow, right?
Yeah, that's the scene.
It's crazy, huh?
And then that's when they put the little song or whatever.
Oh yeah,
from New Hope. Yeah,
they had to.
Dude, I love that throwback, dude. I don't know why. It's like my favorite one.
And this is when he goes in like full hatred mode. Like that's like more into his transformation of Vader. Yeah. And even the Dual Fate song is playing when he's on his way over.
Oh, that's true. Yeah.
And like it was cool, but then it skips that. It's gonna show us later.
Yeah.
Goes to Obi-Wan, lands on Geonosis because that's where he followed.
I believe so. I freaking always forget the damn planets.
Yeah. The fucking mosquito planet, and then guess who makes her come back?
Woo!
The Asian stereotypes. We'll talk about the scene later that he does, but yeah, so there was Count Dooku, which played by Christopher Lee, the great Christopher Lee.
Hell yeah, dude! He's fucking dude.
He's just fucking sweet.
He played, yeah, dude. Honestly, like I was gonna say this, but watching these movies again, like I've grown a better appreciation for them. Like I fucking enjoy them.
So because some of these actors, they like.
Yeah,
they, like made it good. Like they tried. They try to like you take a great actor and give them like something shitty. They're still gonna try to do.
They're still gonna do well.
Yeah, and then like as fucking bad as it is, but like they're gonna still make it a good thing.
And freaking what's it?
Does.
Yeah, Count Dooku. Count
Dooku.
He freaking like he just freaking like he sell.
It's
like
that voice.
Like it's like he oversells his character so well, but not even while overselling. You know, like I told you, people overact.
Oh yeah.
Like he's acting, but like such good way. You know what I mean? And but yeah, dude, like it's sick. And then those freaking like, and then he has to act with those fucking
the fucking mosquitoes
the
and the
Asian
dudes, and then the old mosquitoes. Those things are weird.
It's so weird.
And then so they see what's his name, Obi-Wan, and they capture him, and then it's funny because like Count Dooku goes, I would have never let this happen, and then that's when I didn't even know like until then like that Count Dooku was a
Jedi prior to this.
No, he was Qui-Gon Jinn's master. I didn't I totally forgot about that whole whole aspect. Well, that's crazy, and like Qui-Gon's like, oh, Qui-Gon Jinn would never join you. He just like super pissed off. But yeah, that whole scene is good because I mean even Obi-Wan, like what's his name, Ian McGregor. I love that guy. He's such a good actor too.
Oh yeah,
and he was like one of the best things of the trilogy. So then they have their little talk, and then we go back to Anakin, who is at the Tusken camp and happens to find his mom. Well, I guess he sensed her, right? He sensed her that he was in that tent because immediately he finds the tent. Right? And then
he finds like it just cuts straight to him being
just
at
straight
the tent.
just straight, and he like how somehow he got through all that fucking camp without being seen.
Yeah,
and then he probably did that fast.
He's a force speed. That's what I was gonna.
And but then the mom shimmy, and then shimmy or whatever. Like she does a good job with their scene, like that death scene.
Oh
is really
yeah,
good.
it's really good. It's sad.
I love you. And he goes, I am complete. Like now she can die that she got to see her son. So it's like pretty sad. I'm like fucking, and that's when like and that fucking song that like hypes up Anakin.
Oh dude,
it's just intense.
And
dude.
then his face when he just fucking annihilates. It's so sick.
Does that first one. Like I wish they showed kind of more of that, but they probably want to keep their rating. Yeah. Like what was probably PG. I don't even know.
Whatever. It's like for kids for sure. But you know what's crazy is like Chris or Hayden Christensen. Sorry, I always say his fucking name upside backwards. He plays the role of Darth Vader, like the evil version of him, so fucking well. Yeah, honestly, like you can see it. But like when it's the other awkward like kid. Yeah, it's like it's not. It's just so weird. It's really like good.
Yeah, it's not really that great.
Like give him credit for where credit's due. You know what I mean? Like a lot of people just fucking hate him, and I'm like, no. He did his job, you know what I mean, but he just had bad direction.
Yeah, when he was evil, he did well. I would admit, like he plays the like he gives the like the mean like
he gives it off, because
he's like awkward actor, but like when you're a bad kid, just kidding. He said, "Oh, just keep your promises.
You gotta keep your friends."
And then like Yoda's feeling it all, like he's like the pain, the suffering. He's like young Skywalker is in pain, terrible pain, and that's when I quote like hate leads to suffering. Yeah, when he's hate. And that's all like the suffering of the Tusken Raiders and shit.
Yeah, dude. And you could just hear him going, the fucking dying.
I forgot how they go.
Dude, he's all, well, later on, you're going, not just a woman. Yeah, they're in
we're not there. So then we're back at the scene, and then we get Blue Milk. We get a little cameo for Blue Milk. I don't know if you noticed that.
Yeah.
And that's when Padme and then they're talking to Anakin. And of course he's doing some cringy ass acting. He goes, and he goes. I think he's talking about Obi-Wan again. He goes, he's jealous. He's holding me back. And then he's talking about the Tusken Raiders. He goes, I hate them.
He goes straight into it.
He goes, I slaughtered them and the woman and the children too.
And not just the woman,
and not just the men,
the children,
the woman and the children too. I was like, holy fuck. I hate them. And that's when the Vader music plays right there.
Yeah.
Dun, dun, dun,
dude, that's when you get that sweet ass like meme picture of him crying.
Oh, is that that's
where it's from. That's where it's from.
And then I just wanted to point out, Padme has like the most wardrobe changes in this whole movie. She's like literally in every different
something
scene.
Different every time.
But I think after that scene, she's finally in what she's in for like the rest of
the movie. Yeah.
Which is that white.
That white. It looks like freaking throwback to like Leia. Yeah. You know, it's funny because like that outfit reminds me of like kind of like what Rey wears. You know, in the
that's true. Yeah, it does.
I always feel like they always try to do little throwbacks of things because like they can't recreate anything else. I guess fucking.
And then I think that's when they finally received the message. R2 shows them the message of Obi-Wan when he was trying to contact him, and that's when like he's I have to go save him. And then it's funny because all of a sudden they're taking off and 3PO's just with them. Like they didn't even talk about taking him.
They just took his ass.
They just took it. He's like, he's like, where are we going? Like,
isn't that crazy? Because like later on, Lars on Beru and them, they buy C-3PO back.
They do.
But that was already there.
But his memory's wiped right after the third one.
That's right. But it's just funny.
One of them,
yeah.
But anyway, it is weird. Like it just ends up. He's fucking that guy's always throwing around.
Oh yeah.
But then that's when they begin their journey. The fucking R2 and 3PO. They're the best. They're just a good little team.
Yeah, that is when.
I think honestly, 3PO he's like annoying, but he's just mostly there to just transfer what R2 is saying because R2 is like the funny one. Like I think R2's funnier. But anyway.
Yeah, because you don't know what he's saying, but you can kind of get the gist of it, and then I think like. He's like, you called me a what? You know, like he's always like,
oh, what? Oh, and you can like assume that
you can kind of assume he's like talking
cursing
shit.
Or something.
Yeah.
And then we go back to Dooku, and he's telling Obi-Wan about Darth Sidious and how he's taking over the Republic. And then that next scene, it's showing Jar Jar making the announcement that Palpatine is in control. So it's like, so like that's who he was talking about. But like, if for the keen eye, if someone didn't notice, like he's referring to him, he's taking control of the Republic, which he is. But it's funny because Jar Jar's it's a great idea. You know what he says? Like, he's announcing this, telling this whole like Senate. They're like, yeah.
And it's funny because like fucking Jar Jar Binks, like literally now you know how he was hated as a character, just as a character. Mm-hmm. Now he's fucking hated as a person who fucking gave this guy the power.
Oh, I know. Yeah, exactly. It's like poor Jar. You just can't get a break.
He just can't get a fucking break.
They cut him down, and then like all of a sudden he's still.
Yeah.
It's fucking funny.
So, with more humility. With more humility.
Fucking represent. Jar Jar, make this decision. He's like, he's a bombad. I wanted him to go.
He's that alpha enough. Like the fat one. Dude.
I know. They don't even see him anymore.
Oh, he's dead. Gone. Boss Nas, dude.
Boss Nas. With Captain Tafu. Gangsters.
What's that guy's name again? I forgot his fucking name. Panaka. He's all the Huts. The gangsters.
The gangsters. So now we're on Geonosis, and that's when Padme and Anakin, they take off. They tell 3PO and R2 to stay, but of course R2, being the little shit that he is, takes off, and then of course 3PO is like saying some stupid shit.
Yeah.
But it's funny because R2 literally tries to kill him. Because remember, he's like at the edge. He's all, R2, you're bumping into me, and he fucking just bumps him off, and he just falls. And if that thing wasn't flying, then he would have been dead. That would have been the end of 3PO. But it's like, and then fucking R2 just jets back away. He's like,
like, that's when he has a jetpack. I totally
that little fucker. But it's fucking hilarious.
He takes out all the droids with that shit too.
And that whole scene is just like, it's a weird scene, but it's like, and then of course they have like the comic relief of 3PO getting switched to the other droid. He's like, like stupid ass shit like that. So that whole scene is kind of fun, and they get caught. Well, then obviously R2 saves Padme at the very right time with the lava thing.
Of course, yeah.
Of course, because that's R2, you know, right time at the right place.
He's like, this little droid did it all.
That little droid's taking it all. And then, so that's when they're about to get sacrificed in the little ceremony, and then that's when Padme like says she's in love. But she has some weird turn-ons, man. Because she must have fell in love with him, but he's like, and the children, the woman too.
Oh, the way you slayed them.
I love it. Slay this. And then they're like, but you said our love will destroy our lives. Which it does.
I don't care, Annie. You know,
Annie. Yeah, it's like, oh, damn. Like, at what point did she finally realize she was in love with them? But like, and it wasn't from the Jedi mind trick, because he even says earlier, he's like, it's not for the weak-minded.
It's only.
And she's like,
it's only for the weak-minded, yeah.
And she's like, sounds like,
he's like, the mind of a boy.
Oh shit. Okay. Anyway.
That's great. No, wait, hold on. I want to go back to the. So, yeah, that it is weird that like when did it hit that she was falling in love with him? But I guess the thing is that
maybe it's just the whole mom situation. She felt really
but like I always feel like that maybe she saw that, you know how like a lot this is an attestament to really anything kind of like girls, you know, girls like the bad boy or like the guy that they can try to fix. Mm-hmm. Maybe that's what she was attracted to, is like she's like, I can fix him, I can make him better as a maybe that's why she like, because you start seeing the more he's opening up to her, the more she's letting him in too.
That's true. You know what I mean? Because at first she's really like,
it's because she's reluctant on it.
That's why she has it.
And I said, don't stare at me.
Jar Jar, do me my wingman for the night. He's like, Usa.
He's like, Misa? Usa.
Misa, humility.
Humility.
Then they're in the ceremony. It's weird because like they have like this. I'm like, every time I guess when they have someone that's an intruder, like they have this big ass ceremony of like they're gonna kill them. It's like it's all crazy. Like they don't really explain like is that just like a thing for like inmates in a way? Like, oh, if someone gets sentenced to death, they have this whole fucking ceremony for it.
It looks like all gladiator now or whatever. Yeah, I don't know.
Because literally they have this whole fucking stadium like they're all just going nuts.
Yeah, those are the bug fucking mosquito things.
And then fucking Obi-Wan, he's like, then we decided to come rescue you, and then good job.
Like in Obi-Wan with his one line.
And again, he has a one line. He goes, and what about Padme? He's like, so he seems to be on top of things. She's just on top of the stupid things. It's fucking stupid. And then, so everyone's watching, and this is the part that's fucking hilarious. When the fucking, the little creature scratches Padme on the back, the Asian guy goes, he like turns around and he just like chuckles.
Yeah, he enjoys it, dude.
But then later she's like kicking his ass. He goes, she can't do that. Shoot her or something.
The Asian dudes. Oh my god!
Again with the overselling.
Yeah, dude. He's like, I can't do that.
What even happens? I don't even know what happens to them in that movie.
They fucking die, I think, dude.
Do they? I mean,
yeah, I think Anakin kills them. He kills them in like Revenge of the Sith. I think he remember like when they execute Order 66. I think he fucking just murders them.
Yeah, I think he does.
So which is kind of great because they're fucking dumb.
I know. Well, okay. For some reason, I thought they died in this one, but they didn't really show them. Like, kind of just disappeared.
Yeah, because they're still part of the Trade.
That's true.
Federation crap, whatever they're doing.
Shoot her or something. And then Mace comes in all sick. He's like, ding, ding. And he goes, this party's over.
That's what he said.
Yeah, the fucking classic Samuel Jackson.
Yeah, he's all, does he look like a bitch?
Motherfucker.
He's all, grab me my lightsaber. The one that says bad motherfucker on it.
That's my purple dildo.
Dude, but honestly,
that whole scene was super cool though. I really like that scene. Like in that whole theater, everyone was like,
"Ah, yeah." Do you remember? This is random, but do you recall when this was happening? Attack of the Clones. They were gonna get in sync to be some of the Jedi. Do you ever?
Are you serious?
Yeah,
no,
dude. It was like this big thing, and they almost happened. And dude, people were fucking livid.
Pissed, of course.
Yeah, dude, it was crazy. I remember that, dude. When I was a kid, because
they're like the big thing.
They were the big thing, and then
that's fucking awesome.
Imagine using Justin Timberlake like. I'm a Jedi, die. I'm gonna rock your body.
Fucking A.
Yeah, but yeah, dude, that was a 16. You see Kid Fitzstew, what's his name? Kid Fitzstew.
I think Kid Fitzstew.
I can't say his fucking name. And then you see Mace.
Yeah, you see them all. Like it was just super cool.
It's just a bunch of sick ass Jedi's. Yeah, and that's when the clones come out too.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, then they get cornered. But then they had the Jango and Mace Windu slow down. And it's like Jango is a cool character, but again, like same thing with like Boba Fett. Like Boba Fett really, like this guy at least had more to do in the battle, but like he dies just super fast. Like,
yeah,
he's just done.
fucking Mace.
But they gave him more time. But if you look closely, I don't know if you noticed when they shows the shadow of the helmet flying, you see the head fly out.
Yeah.
You notice that?
Yeah.
It's fucking crazy. Yeah.
And he just saw his fucking dad die.
And then then Boba looks at it like, oh, and that's when Mace Windu's like, Jango, you gonna be all on the modern posters.
Jango, you son of a bitch.
You son of a bitch. And then,
he's gonna stay in the big house.
Anyway,
he's like, I misses you like a rock in my shoe.
Shut up. We'll get to that movie. We'll get to that one. And then the Jedi's versus clones with the bugs as the droids, and then the clones come down, and boom, you get it. Attack of the Clones.
Attack of the Clones, they say. That's what the movie's called.
That's it. And then fucking Yoda's just sitting there like, and then the fucking thing's all flying like tilted, and he's still standing like straight.
I know he's
just fucking sick. And then that's when they're like trying to like Dooku and like that weird alien dude. They're all trying to like figure things out, and you see like a little bit of the Death Star. Remember?
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
He like hide the plans.
Yeah.
Like we can't let them get this, or else we're ruined or whatever. Like if they find out about this, and then they're flying, trying to chase Dooku, and he's on that fucking speeder. He's all he looks fucking stupid.
Yeah, he does.
But
it just looks weird because he's such an old ass man.
It looks super weird. Yeah. And then Padme flies out, and that's when like Obi-Wan's just like, "Don't let your personal feelings get in the way, Anakin." And he's like, "So what would you do?" And he's like, "She'd do her duty." He's all pissed off. And then all right, and that's when Dooku, he's like, "Can't fight Dooku alone." And I didn't realize Dooku was just so strong. Well, I guess the Sith is just super strong, right?
I think he's in his like lore or whatever. He's like a skilled swordsman. Okay. That's why I told you. Remember when you were making fun of his
bendy straw,
his little bendy straw, like his little bended lightsaber. Yeah. So that's what I was saying, because like in his
can't
lore,
get it up anymore.
the reason he chose it is because like when he fights, it fools the Jedi who's fighting with, or whoever he's fighting with, that it's like smaller than it looks, but then it becomes longer.
Really?
He's got freaking. He's a freaking. What's it? He needs a Viagra.
Viagra. Fucking Jedi Viagra. And then it's funny because like it's all dark, but it looks like Dooku and Anakin are fighting like with glow sticks. So but like at one point they're not even really hitting each other. It's kind of like it looks like fucking stupid. And that's already fucking he had already fucked up
Obi-Wan.
Fucked up Obi-Wan by shot.
He always fucks up Obi-Wan.
I know, fucking know it. And like it's like, is Obi-Wan strong or not?
I know. It always make him look so weak against Dooku.
But and then what else happened? Oh yeah, and then he throws in the second lightsaber, and that's when he's fighting with them. But then he loses his arm, and it's funny. He gets launched back. He's like, And then I just remember this shit when the fucking crowd went ape shit. Fucking Yoda just walks out.
Yeah.
He's like,
I'm a young boy.
Oh my god! And this, but yeah, that shit was fun. That shit was cool. But like,
it was really cool.
It was just kind of weird at the same time. Like, it's funny. He's flipping around, but you notice the sound he's making. He's going.
Yeah.
He must be a beast in the sack.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, dude. He's like, he's like, but he's like, Count Dooku in lore again. He's afraid of Yoda because he's one of the other like really skilled saber fighters. He's a swordsman, and so like when he's fighting him, he's fucking like, oh shit, like he's gonna
it's
fuck
fucking
me
scary, dude. It's all over the place, jumping around like a little booger.
It's kind of crazy how that.
I know, but that whole like, they hype it up too, like with the little like force battle. Like,
oh, that was sick.
It's like,
dude, when I was a kid, I remember being like, "Fuck yeah!"
But like,
because you know,
imagine being in the puppet though when they had that.
That would have been fucking sick. Oh my god, dude! I cannot wait for us to get to fucking A New Hope.
Oh, I know.
Or I mean,
Empire Strikes Back. No, it's Empire
Strikes Back. Thank you.
He's like, and then so that's when I think he takes off, right? Dooku just like, how does that fight end? I forgot how it ends.
He does something where like he puts someone else in danger, so he's gonna drop something on them.
Oh, and then he saves them. And then he saves Obi-Wan and Anakin. That's right. This is only 30 minutes in. Keep in mind. No, I'm just kidding. I'm kidding. So I remember that, and then that's when Dooku's name is revealed, Lord Tyrannosaurus Rex, and he's talking to Darth Sidious, and they're talking about the plans are going as planned.
Oh my god, the fucking lines.
Fucking master. And then but it's crazy because like they're talking about like the plan after he says that, it shows all the clones and the Vader music's playing again.
Yeah, but it's like throwback.
Yeah, but it's just like, but obviously it's foreshadowing what's gonna happen in the future. Like, and then Yoda kind of knows some shit's gonna go down when they're all looking at it.
She will do her duty.
And then do your duty. And then all of a sudden, for somehow Anakin and Padme are getting married. and then 3PO's the best man. He's just like, oh. And he has a mechanical arm and everything.
Yeah.
And then they kiss, and then like the movie ends. But now you think about it, this movie wasn't as fun. But like it had its cool moments, but it wasn't as fun as like.
It's not the first one. I think we are probably gonna have a good time. Well, we had a great time with the Phantom Menace, but I think with the Revenge of the Sith, we're probably gonna have like one of the best times, honestly.
Too, yeah. But this one, thanks to Anakin, had a lot more cringeworthy like moments.
Well, so let me ask you this: like overall, like rewatching it again now, because now we're adults. You know what I mean? What did you think now of the movie?
1 out of 10 parsecs.
1 out of 10 fucking part.
Is that minutes?
12 parsecs. I don't know what the hell that is.
They talk about it again.
Well, yeah, he says 12 parsecs is how far the planet is, and then
I'm like, oh, maybe it's miles.
But
then Han Solo said I did this in something parsecs. Anyway,
I forget what the fuck he says.
I don't really get it. This one, I don't know. I would recommend any Star Wars fan watch it again. Like, of course, like because it's Star Wars and it's fun. But this one, I would still agree that it's probably one of the weaker in the prequel.
Definitely. Well, I'm glad you said that because I believe the same thing. Remember, I had told you that one of my or some guy from work told me that. Actually, it was Wayne.
Oh my god,
Wayne. He's a big Star Wars guy. And,
no shit.
Yeah, and he told me he like fucking loves that, and he told me he's like, and I told him why I liked Revenge of the Sith and why I thought Hayden Christensen did a good job and like with what he was doing in the third one. And then he goes, well, you should watch the second one because, well, he didn't say it like that, but you know how he talks. Yeah. He's like, you should watch the second one because, like, this is where you actually see Palpatine kind of manipulate Anakin to what's going to happen. And I was like, okay, I'll watch it. And now that I watch it, I'm like, no, he makes sense. He made a grand scheme plan. Like, he literally set it up where he was going to get with Padme so he can know what love was and what loss is. Yeah. Like all that, you know what I mean? To turn him to where he needs to be because he's already kind of turning.
Yeah, that's true.
Or not turning, but he was already.
And he needed that to really just throw him over the edge.
Just throw him over the edge, yeah. Which is very crazy.
I didn't know that was him that told you that.
Yeah, that was him. Yeah. I didn't want to mention it before because I thought we were going to I wanted to say it when we saw it today.
Yeah, I mean, so that's it for episode 2. I'm excited for episode 3. I haven't watched that in a while, and that's always a fun one.
I always watch the fucking end part, honestly.
So
I hate you.
That has some good ones.
Yeah, dude.
Do you have anything to add to the second one?
No, but I did want to ask you this because I think now we're doing the quotes now. But what was your favorite quote of this movie? Was it the sand?
I think the sand part is one of the things I reference the most from this movie.
Yeah.
I don't like sand. but then as I watched it more, like he had a lot more lines than I remember, like that are just like, what the fuck? The woman and the child, and he goes, I hate them. He's just super moody emo kid, and then he even looks more emo in the next one.
The next one, long ass hair.
So I'm excited.
You know, it's crazy. It's like you didn't ask me, but I'm gonna tell you.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Oh, you're good. Thank you.
What was your favorite quote?
You know, watching it again, I've always said this, but I didn't. Like, I always say it to my brothers and shit, but it was these political idealists, not a murderer.
You did stop it and mention that.
I had to, because when I saw that again today, I was like, God damn,
that
dude.
Fucking forehead, dude.
Fucking forehead, big ass.
He's got some mind.
Yeah.
But he's a fool. Mind. He's a fool.
He's a fool. For reals.
Fool in
motherfucker. Love. Then Mace Windu.
Jango. All right. Well, that's it. I mean, so next time we'll meet up and we'll do the third one, and I look forward to it.
Definitely me as well, man.
Until we meet again. This has been Quotables. Bye.
Play us out.